Are you tired of trying to figure out how to make your business actually make you some money? Listen up. For those of you that are new here, I'm a business coach. I help mompreneurs make $5,000 per month or more every single month without sacrificing family time. And I do all of this as a crazy busy mom of four myself. And today we're talking how to actually make some money in your business and what you can do every single day. And by the end of this video, you're going to have 3 action steps on things you can start working on in your business to start being profitable tomorrow. So number 1 is actually getting really clear on your offer. And I think a lot of people assume that they are clear on their offer, but I highly encourage you to create a refined marketing statement that basically helps you to get really clear on your messaging and how you're going to present your business to the rest of the world. The refined marketing statement essentially is going to be, I help blank do blank without blank or within blank. We want either a without or a within statement at the end of it, or you can incorporate both of those in some instances. And so what you're going to say is I help, and then who's the specific niche that you help, and then do whatever the highly desirable end result is. And then without whatever pain point or struggle they're dealing with that's stopping them from getting that end result, or within a certain time frame. When we're coming up with this, we want to think of the value equation, which is essentially this idea that you want to have a highly quantifiable, highly desirable end result. The more of that you can do, the better, but you also want to take away less effort and less time delay. So higher value, less effort, less time delay equals a high value offer. If you can throw some sort of a guarantee in there, guarantees always increase the value of an offer as well. My specific business, we say we can help you get to, 5K months, or we keep working with you until you do. So that's kind of our guarantee. And I think having a guarantee is really important because a lot of times, especially if you're doing like high ticket sales, or if your packages are priced, reasonably, you want to be able to tell someone that, hey, you're going to be spending money with me and it's for a good reason. And so you really want to revisit that offer. You want to have like a good, strong guarantee. You want to look at, who's the specific niche that you're targeting? What's the highly desirable end result that you're helping them achieve? And what are some of the pain points that they can avoid by working with you? So one of the biggest things that I've heard recently, which I thought was absolutely brilliant, is when you're looking for opportunities, you want to look at frustrations you can alleviate. Highly successful people, they didn't invent the wheel. They got rid of the frustration of having to walk. And so find out what are the frustrations of your target audience that you're removing from their life by your service or your product. And that's how you really want to focus on your messaging. So that's number 1, really get clear on that offer. But then once you have an offer, what do you do with it? The next step is getting those leads. And so when you're getting leads, there's several different ways you can do it. But here's the thing, as busy moms, we typically don't have all the time in the world to be building crazy big YouTube channels. And we probably don't have one to begin with. And we don't have time to wait until we develop one to be able to start making money. And we also probably don't have the money to invest in paid ads. Like, let's be honest. And even if we did, would we want to spend that money in paid ads and try to figure it all out ourselves? Or would we rather just hire someone else or go with a different route? There's so many different ways to get leads and get clients. The best ways you can think of to do this, one is networking. If you can connect with other people who have the same target audience as you, but you guys offer complementary services and you can do a joint venture together, meaning a workshop together. Maybe you guys write a book together. Maybe you do a summit together, right? A podcast show where you can show each other to each other's audiences, even doing a workshop in their audience, but offering them a commission on the people that get sold in your workshop so that they're promoting you in their business. And in their groups as well. So these are just some things that you can think about in terms of networking. If you have the money for paid ads are incredibly effective if you know how to do them right. And so my recommendation is if you have the money for them, great. I would hire a specialist to do it for you, right? And so I do know some specialists. So if at any point, like you want any of my help with any of this, go ahead and click the link in the description. You'll go ahead and join my free community, DM me in there. I am happy to refer you to an amazing ad specialist that I work with myself and I refer to my clients. So feel free to do that. But I would say if you're able to do ads and have an ad specialist, that is a great route to take. The other ways that I think is really important is if you don't have your own audience and you can't pay for an audience, then you should leverage someone else's audience. And we kind of do that in the joint venture, right? By by networking and leveraging someone else's audience. But you can also do that in Facebook groups. And so finding the different Facebook groups or other groups in general on the internet that are full of your target audience, going in there, establishing relationships, establishing rapport, finding out what the rules and regulations are in that specific group in terms of being able to promote your services, promote what you do, and making generic posts. So sometimes we can make generic posts in them that aren't necessarily actually pitching anything, meaning that I have my free group, which is in the description here. My biggest method when I first started out with growing it was actually just posting in groups of moms saying, I'm looking for moms or I'm looking for mompreneurs who want to network and help each other grow in our weekly coffee chats. And I hosted a coffee chat in my group. I had so many people coming in. Not all of them were interested in coaching, but some of them actually had conversations with me and ended up buying from me. But they ultimately were there because they wanted to connect with other moms in the network. And so that's a great way, like figure out what is it about what I'm doing that's getting people to come to me and promote that in these groups. And I recommend doing something that's free so that you can get people to opt in for something that's free and build up some goodwill and build up some rapport with them before you're trying to pitch them on a service. So there's multiple different ways you can do that. You can have like a landing page that they sign up for and get put into an email marketing. You can have your own group, whether it's on Facebook or I'm a huge fan of School. As you can see, my community is on School. And if you want your own School community, again, join mine, talk with me. I do free School setups as well, and I'm happy to do that with you. And so I think that is a really cool way for a lot of people to go because, you know, you can connect with other people, you can do paid ads, and you can also leverage other people's audiences directly in school groups for free. So there's multiple different ways that you can build an audience and connect with others and get clients and get leads in your DMs on Facebook, in your DMs on School, in your email list, in all of these different platforms, maybe even collecting phone numbers and that you can text. There's so many different ways to get leads. You just have to be consistent with it. And a really cool rule that I learned, just kind of pro tip out there, if you can get 30 leads a day or get in front of 30 people a day, that's 1,000 at the end of the month, right? And so a lot of times we kind of look at this like, oh, only 30 people liked it or only 30 people commented, but that all adds up. And so the goal is if you can do it every single day, you get consistency down, then you're going to get much higher volume, which means you're going to have a lot more consistent results at the end of the day. Lack of consistent results is a direct correlation of lack of consistent effort. So making sure you're being consistent with that is key, especially when you're not paying for ads, because the ads at that point, the algorithm is the consistency for you, right? The next thing, so now you've got a solid offer, you're getting a ton of leads. Now we just need to know how to close them. And so the next thing you need to be working on is having these conversations with the leads that you're actually getting, doing the proper follow up. Know that most sales don't happen on the first 7 messages with this person. You have to follow up at least 8 times to start getting sales. And so making sure you're following up with them, making sure you're having conversations with them, hop onto a phone call with them, right? Do what you need to do to actually make the sale. So those are kind of the 3 things. If you have a solid offer, if you take the time to build out a solid offer, and you take the time every single day to post in different groups and connect with people that have like-minded audiences while also building your own audience, right? It doesn't hurt to build up a YouTube channel if you're able to do so. But the more you work on that personal brand and the networks and the connections that you're building, the more leads you're going to get. The more you work that and work other people's audiences and use that to your advantage, the more leads you're going to get. And then as you're building up leads, follow up with your old leads. Follow up with the messages in your DMs that you've been sending to people. Follow up with the people who are responding. Obviously, that's kind of a warmer lead. Follow up with all those people until you start making sales. So if you haven't made any money in your business so far, do not fret. You can definitely do this. Revisit your offer. Start to consistently post in other groups. Start to consistently reach out to others. Figure out what you need to do to get those leads and start following up on all of those leads. I guarantee you, if you start doing that, you can make your first 5K within 30 days. Hope this is helpful. If you want to see me or get some help from me, go ahead and click the link in that description below. And I will see you in the